Vivid hair colors are any colors that are not naturally occurring in hair color. So you're not born with this color. Think pinks, blues, purples. Vivid colors are considered high maintenance and they fade very fast. So today we're gonna cover about 8 tips on how you can keep your vivid hair lasting longer. Applying vivids on dry hair will help them stick or stay longer. This is one of my favorite vivid colors, Lime Green by Mondo. This color and typically all vivid colors are very thick. So when you apply this on dry hair, the hair will just start to soak it up like a sponge. It's a lot easier to apply it on damp hair. It spreads better, the color moves, you get more coverage or even coverage, you're not making any mistakes. But any type of water will dilute the pigment. So if you're wanting a very strong color, very bold and very bright, you need to apply this on dry hair like this. You're going to use more, you're gonna have to take more time, but it will really help the color show up better. Your hair needs to be very light for this to work. So if you wanted your hair to look this color of lime green, it ideally needs to be up here at a level 10. So if your hair is at a level 5, you need to lighten this with bleach to a very pale yellow or blonde in order for this hair color to look very vibrant. And if you're using neons or pastels like this, it needs to be very bright. Most hair companies, when you see the little swatches of what this is going to look like, they use white hair. So that's the brightest it's going to look if you have white hair, which is almost impossible to get because it's without tone. Even on my hair here, there's darker pieces, there's lighter pieces. This is not going to be a solid, bright lime green because of the variations of colors I have right now. This color will really only pick up those super bright blonde pieces. So the lighter your hair is, the better the result is going to be. After you've applied the color and let it process, you can just rinse this out. You don't have to use shampoo. Very cold water, but you're just rinsing the color out. You want to try to wait at least 72 hours before you do any sort of shampooing or re-wetting the hair. This is going to help lock in the color. Probably the best tip is no hot water. To keep this color vibrant, the water needs to be cold. Think of uncomfortably cold. When I used to have vivid hair, I would take a shower like normal with a shower cap on, and then in my bathroom sink, I would wash my hair in super cold water. That way you didn't have to have the cold all over your body. Cold water keeps the cuticle closed, the hair cuticle, so no color can escape. Shampooing less will obviously help. I'm not a huge fan of dry shampoo, but that will be an alternative to shampooing if you want to. Or you could try co-washing, which is washing with conditioner. You do not need a fancy $30 co-wash. So you wet your hair, remember, cold water, apply the conditioner, and you run it through like you would shampoo, kind of massage it in. It's obviously not gonna suds up. Co-washing will give you a mild cleanse. It's not gonna cleanse it as well as really getting in there shampoo, but it will lightly remove buildup oil without stripping the hair color like a shampoo would. You do wanna make sure when you shampoo this that the shampoo is sulfate-free. These are going to gently cleanse the hair without stripping the hair of the color. And there's a ton available at the drugstore. Shea Moisture, say it with me. A lot of those are sulfate-free. Some of the L'Oreal brands in the purple bottle, I recently tried those. I did not like those at all. And I believe most Pantene is sulfate-free. It'll say it on the bottle. Heat protection is huge with vivid hair. That's heat from your actual blow dryer, your irons, and heat from the sun, UV rays. Even on a cloudy day, you need to protect your hair. UV rays will break down hair pigments. Think of surfers who always have super blonde hair. The UV rays are breaking down the melanin. Now you're also adding in salt water, which helps strip the cortex, making the hair more exposed to the rays. So that's why it turns that bleach blonde white. But the concept is similar. They make a lot of sunscreens for hair. And even if you color your hair darker, not necessarily a vivid color, sunscreen for the hair, if you're gonna be outside for a long period of time, is a good idea. You don't wanna get crazy where every time you go outside, you have to spray your hair. I mean, please enjoy life. If you're doing any sort of blow drying, iron work, you do wanna spray it with a heat protectant first. So hair sunscreen if you're going outside, or a hat, and heat protectant if you're doing any sort of heat, direct heat. When your hair color starts looking dull, which it will, because again, these fade pretty quickly, you can take your color. So let's say this is your color. You can take color and mix it with a conditioner. Wet the hair and apply this all over and let it sit for a long time, 30-ish minutes. This will refresh your color. Bright reds and pinks tend to fade the quickest, so you'll want to get extra hair color so you can make your mask at home versus reapplying the color all over. You can do this conditioning mask in between recolors. And lastly, I think this is 9 tips. I said 8, but now we're on 9. This can be frowned upon. We used to do it in the salon all the time, but burning in color, which is what I'm gonna do today. What that means is you've applied the vivid color and let it process for the 45, whatever time it is. I think this one is 45 minutes. Oh, this one's only 20 minutes. It's not mixed with a developer though, it's as is. Whatever's in this jar, you put it on your head, so you could leave it on longer. So it's processed, which this hasn't been on long. I mean, how long is this video? It's only a couple minutes. You're gonna wipe the color with a towel, and then you would blow dry this. So you're burning it in. Let me do that really quick. It's dry, but it's gonna look greasy. That's normal. This needed to be left on a lot longer. You can see some of the pigments just on the blonde because again, it's not going to lift hair color. So the lighter the hair, the better or brighter this is going to look. On the darker pieces, it'll have a slight greenish tint. And this is a bad example of this color. This looks beautiful on very blonde level 10 hair. It's a yellowish green, so lime green. Thank you for that. This just looks like I need a toner. But blow drying it in like that can be frowned upon, but you're letting that hair color set because again, you're not gonna shampoo this for 72 hours. So it has all that time to soak into your hair.